Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Aeroplane 560's Let's Play. Here on the BlockZen server, we've got the FTB Horizon mod pack, and last time we were here, we checked out some blood magic over here with the blood altar, and we figured out how we could use that to run some of our steam dynamos over here for some thermal expansion goodness. And right now, there's nothing in there. I actually have everything over in this ores chest, and we've got tons of ores from that, so that's really great, and it's working out nicely. If you see over here too, we got some barrels here from Jabba, which gives us the Better Barrels mod, and you know, just your basic excess items that we have. Right now, there was some sand in there, but I used that for something else, actually, to make this glass up here that you can see. So yeah, good things are happening. Few changes you might notice. If we go outside my house, you look up, we'll have a room, and that's actually going to be involved with what I'm going to be going over today, which is the next mod. Also over here, continue growing some cotton. Got a lot of cows in here because I need the leather, and I think these cows are going to be useful in the creation of the mod that we're going to do right now, which I'm going to go inside because I don't want to die. So let's get back in there. Now the first mod that we're going to be talking about in this episode. Get out here, baby. Okay, there's another one. Come here. I could slay these guys all day. Yeah, off camera actually I did manage to get myself... where is it? There, a Neptunian plate, which I was very happy to get. Gosh, I can't do a video with all these monsters. I think what I'm going to do is sleep. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. This is getting out of hand. It's like the zombie apocalypse over here, I swear. Okay. Really? Okay, now we can go over the first mod. So if you looked in there, I was about to grab it. Yes, it's the golden lasso from Extra Utilities. One of my favorite mods, probably, because what it allows you to do is, we'll come over here. We have an unsuspecting cow right here. Right click, boop. What happens is that cow is now inside of the golden lasso, I guess you could say. He's kind of just in there. Take care of you. We still have to do something with all these mobs around my house. There's still way too many around here. It's always getting in the way of me filming. But anyway, so we got our golden cow here. Sorry, not our golden cow, our golden lasso with our cow inside of it. If we right click, there he is. But you know what, we're going to put him back in the pen because that's where these animals belong, in the pen. So it's a great way to move animals from one location to the other instead of trying to lure them with your wheat or whatever they're going to take. So for instance, I found this cow, I'd say probably 300 blocks in that direction. Just picked him up with the golden lasso and brought him back to his pen where I'm starting to breed some cows. So yeah, the recipe to make it is really simple. Here it is. It's just gold nuggets, some string, and ender pearl, and it's a really useful tool though for how easy it is to make. If you can see over here, which is kind of hard to miss, we've got a ladder up in our greatwood tree. I kind of wanted to, I'll admit, I'm kind of copying off of my friend the man Carl, but we just threw up a nether portal here, and unfortunately it did link with his nether portal that's over at his base, so if I go through this and come back out, I'll end up at his base, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I think there's a way to link it to these overworld coordinates, but we're going to save that for another episode, just in case you're wondering what that is, now you know. Don't ask me why I put it in the tree. I really don't know. Well, I guess I was copying him, so. So, the mod that I'm actually going to look into right now, which is why I have this space up here, is, drumroll please, Advanced Genetics. That's right. I've really been wanting to get into this mod. Because, well, I'll tell you why. I'm tired of eating these fish fillets. I know I can get them, and they're good, and I mean, they're a nice food source and all, but I would rather eat some grass, you know? Grass, it looks tasty, but as a human right now, I can't eat that. But that's all going to change with advanced genetics. So, this mod it's a little advanced, well, hence the name. Okay, that was stupid. But anyway, it does take quite a few machines to accomplish what we're trying to do. But if you bear with me, it's not that difficult to do. You just kind of go through each one step by step by step, and you can't really mess anything up. So, yeah. First things first, we're going to need to actually make these, and most of them aren't too difficult. I think this one does the splitter, yeah, that requires a diamond, and it's going to require some of these cells, and you're probably thinking, well, where the heck do I get a cell from? I don't have any, like, microscopes or anything. But to do that, you're going to make yourself the first tool, which is called a scraper, which is just an iron ingot and 2 stone sticks. To make stone sticks, it's just 2 pieces of cobblestone like that. Gives you 2 stone sticks, and then you got yourself a scraper. So let's come on down here. And I might have already made one off camera. No, I didn't. So I think what I'm going to do is make this the scraper, and then I'll be right back, and we can go use it, put it to use. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so here we got our skin scraper. Yes, I know it sounds pretty nasty. It seems like I do a lot of mods that have to do with blood or skin or something. I don't know why, but don't judge me. So anyway, we're going to use this right now, and what you do is you go up to the mob or animal. I don't think these guys like being called mobs, but you go up to the animal that you want to get your skin scales from. You right click on them, and you'll see it'll do a little bit of damage, and you'll get a skin scale, and it says what it comes from. So this is skin scales of a cow. So what we need, I did some of the calculations for this, and we're gonna need to make all of the machines. Most of them need this book, which is made out of a book surrounded by cells. I did the calculations, and to make every machine that we're going to need for this mod, we're going to need 26 skin scales. So I'm going to do this off camera so you don't have to see me scraping cows to get their skin, because that would be kind of disturbing, I know. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll be back when I have 26 skin scales. Okay, so here we are. We have our 26 skin scales. Now we can head back in here, and we'll make our first machine. Come on, there you go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make is called the DNA analyzer. Now this doesn't require any skin scales, obviously, because to get skin scales you need to put, this doesn't require any cells to make it, because to get cells you need to put them inside the DNA analyzer. So what it does need though is, as you can see there, it needs a magnifier, which is just a stone stick, which you already know how to make, and some glass. Now we conveniently do have a piece of sand up here. I think it just magically appeared there. No, but okay. Oh, I guess I already have one in there too. Even better. So, and we have 2 cobblestones with us. Let's make ourselves a magnifier really quick. There we go. And then we'll get some iron. We've got tons of iron. And this is a good way to use it because most of the recipes all require some iron. So let's make ourselves the DNA analyzer. Solid. Okay, the next machine is going to be the extractor. And that is going to actually need some of the cells. So we're going to actually have to use this machine over here, unfortunately. I guess it's not unfortunate. I think what I'm going to do is, now with the mod, there are these things called combustion generators, which is what you can use to power all of the machines in here, and they all run off of coal. Now, I do have a lot of coal, but this machine like really eats through it really quickly. Or I'm sorry, this machine, it goes through your coal like really quickly, and if all of them need coal to run, I don't think I'm gonna want to be doing that, because like if you put like a stack of coal in there, it'll go through probably like 5 per item it's trying to be made with each machine, so that adds up quickly. So I think with the updated mod pack, now you can actually run these machines off of redstone flux energy from like thermal expansion. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably, because I have it up in this other room, what I'm going to do is probably have some energy conduit running like through this wall up into here, up into this room, like charging all the mods there. So But to do that, I'm going to need to make some micro blocks, which we're going to get into later. So for now, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to go grab my leadstone energy cell. And I think I don't have any more leadstone conduit, so I'll probably just snag all of it because I don't really need it. I'm not pulverizing anything right now. So you just shift right click to pick that up, and it stores all of its energy in there. So that's good. Oh, I guess I'm full of items. Okay, I don't need that. Let's get the rest of this stuff because we're going to need it for all of our machines. And I don't know if that'll be enough. We might have to make some more, but that we'll do that in a little bit. So I want all of my machines. I planned it out so that I'm going to be needing 7 machines to basically do everything that I'm trying to accomplish. So I conveniently made it 7x7. So the first machine is going to go right there. And I guess now we'll just place our hardened energy cell. Yeah, I guess we'll just place it back in here. This is kind of a hassle. Probably should grab the pickaxe, but you can wait. Right? Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being patient with me, guys. Okay. Let's place that, how do we want it? I'll just place it there for now. Okay, and we have some leadstone going into there, and we might have to whack it. Oh, we need to make that side an output, so let's do that. Is it that side? No. See, I never know which side is the right one. Okay, where it might be, yeah, it's gotta be that. Okay. So we want it to be output. So let's make everything else blue. I'm really bad with the interface here. I don't know why. So now if we look, it should, yeah, it's fully charged. Before it was gray, and now this blue means that it's charged. So what we're going to do is take our skin scales that we've gotten and just put them in there. And we'll get this progress bar. Now, as you can see, it's running really, really slow. And this is actually the slowest machine in the process. But what we can do is make some overclocker upgrades. And these are really easy. It's just a clock surrounded by some redstone. And I'll actually give you 4. So conveniently enough, I did get a clock. Strangely enough, I got that clock when I was fishing. It seems like I'm catching a lot of useful things when I'm fishing. I mean, I caught those leather boots, which I needed for some leather. Yeah, it's been really nice. So let me just throw some of this wood in there for now. And that was 4 redstone too, I think. So how many redstone? Yeah, I've got plenty of redstone. And we'll make ourselves some overclockers. We should get 4 of them. Nice. Okay. Then we'll go back up there. And you know what? This is probably finished, though. Yeah, it is. So, but we'll throw these on there anyway because this is the slowest machine. To put an overclocker on an advanced genetics machine, all you need to do is go up to the machine you want to apply it to and right-click. And now, as you can see, we have only 3 left because one of them is on there. We'll do this again. I think I'm just going to use all 4 because the other machines are actually relatively quick compared to this one. So this one, you're definitely going to want to throw a bunch of overclockers on there. Now if we go into the interface, you'll see over here in the bottom right that it has the amount of overclockers we have on it. So now we have our cell. So what we're going to need is 26 of these cells. So as you can see, yeah, this process is going to take a while. But as you can see now, it's going a lot faster now that we've thrown these overclockers on here. So we're going to get a bunch of these cells, and unfortunately they're not stackable, so I'm going to have to put them all in there. And you'll also notice that you get these organic drops. What these are used for is it's kind of complicated. I'll get into it later. Yeah, don't worry about those right now. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to make all of these skin scales into cells, and then we're going to use those cells to craft the rest of the machines. We're not actually going to get to use those cells because they're going to go into the crafting of the machines. They're not actually going to be put to use in this mod because also I don't really plan on using the cow. Not that it's not useful, but what we're going to be after is the sheep. So these cells are just basically being used to make the machines. So I'm going to craft up the rest of these cells, and then I'm going to make the rest of the machines that you need for this mod, and I'll be back in a second. And just like that, through the magic of video editing, we have our 26th cell. So now we're actually ready to make the rest of our machines. So the next machine in the long row of machines for this mod for advanced genetics is the DNA extractor. And what this does is it takes the DNA that is within the cell. So if you guys know anything about biology, you'll know that a cell has a DNA part in it. And, well, okay, I'm a chemistry major, so I'm not too good at biology. But anyway, yeah, this next machine is just going to take the DNA from the cells. So to make this, we're going to need one of those books surrounded by 4 cells. Shouldn't be a problem since we got a whole bunch of them. And then some iron and a hopper. So, yeah, let's make that right now. Go downstairs. Actually, I think I'm going to go to sleep. No, I'm not. Okay. I tell you, these mobs will not leave me alone. Especially these zombies. They're not nice. Real nasty things. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay. So we're gonna need a chest. I think I have some spare chests lying in my wood. Yeah, okay. Chest. We got our iron, and we need a book. I believe I have some books. Yeah, I don't need you. You can just stay in there. Okay, first let's make that book. I think, how many of those are we going to need? One there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4 plus the 2 here. Yeah, that makes 26. So let's just make all those books right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, 6. And then, yeah, I wish there was an easier way of doing this, but since these don't stack, this is really the best thing we've got. I'll go really fast, I promise. And these do stack, so that's nice. Yeah, unfortunately, most of the items you'll find don't stack in this mod, but it's really okay. There's some ways around that, because what you can do is add... there's overclockers, and then there's also auto output upgrades, and I'll show you what those are in a second. So we have our 6 books and our 2 extra, because for the DNA combiner we need 2 right there. Okay, so now we'll make our DNA extractor. Let's make our hopper first. Hopper, U, and then iron. And then we have our DNA extractor. Nice. Okay. So I think what I'm planning on doing for this video is I'm just going to make the machine, and then I'll just run the part through the machine, and we'll just keep going that way. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it like that. So now we have the next machine. Hey guys, sorry, I was recording and I don't know what happened to the video. Something was messed up with my recording software. But anyway, I'm going to go over how these machines work right now, because the footage that I had saved of crafting all of them and explaining what each of them does got deleted, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I did end up just making some more leadstone energy conduit, but now we're going to be able to connect our last machine, just like that, and we should be getting some power. How is this guy doing? It's still got a decent amount. It's going to be enough to at least make one of our genes, or at least show you how we can go through and process one of our skin scales. So let's do that right now. Let's go grab our sheep, and hopefully I can show you what I'm trying to accomplish with this mod. So let's grab our scraper, and let's go scrape a sheep. Actually, let's kill a creeper first. You can actually scrape creepers too, which is nice. Okay, where are you? There you are. Yeah, and it did kill him. But luckily we did get his scales. Now let's go back and see if we're able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Go up here. Now you guys know how this machine works. We'll take our scales, put those into the machine, like so. and we'll get our cell of a sheep. So now we can take this one, and as you can see, I had to take it out of the machine, and I'm coming over here, right-clicking, placing it in here, but that's where the auto output upgrade comes in handy. This guy. Really simple to make, but what that'll do is just go from this machine to this machine automatically, to this machine, to this machine. But here is where you're going to actually have to, no matter what. Unless, of course, you make an auto splitter, this guy, which is just your already made DNA splitter surrounded by some redstone and iron. But actually that, I'll discuss that in a second when I get to the splitter. So we have our cell from the analyzer, and of course this one we're going to do manually because we don't have any auto output upgrades on it yet. We'll take our cell, put it in the extractor, and it's going to extract the DNA out of there in a second. And there we go. We have a helix encrypted, and you'll see all those all that code below it, which means absolutely nothing to me. We'll put that into the decryptor, and we'll make that code into the actual DNA, and we'll know what genes are located within that DNA. So let's see. This DNA contains woolly and the basic gene, which is kind of a bummer because that's not what I wanted. I wanted the eat grass gene. So what I'm going to go do is scrape up some more sheep. I'll probably go grab them with the golden lasso that we found and bring them back to the pen. I'll scrape them up, grab a bunch of their genes, grab a bunch of their skin scales, and I'll be back when I get a eat grass gene. So yeah, be back in a few. Okay, I'm on the hunt now. I just heard me a sheep. Where is he? I hear the sheep cry. Crikey, there he is. We're gonna have to sneak up on this guy. Be very careful. These things are nasty predators. Alright, we got ourselves a sheep. We got him in the golden lasso. Let's get back to base. Okay, so coming back, we can take our sheep and we'll put them in there. And this one is a little bit healthier, so we should be able to get plenty of skin scales from him. Just right-click rapidly and we'll get a bunch of them. We don't want this cow. Whoops. I did get a lot of cows, I guess, didn't I? That was a mistake. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Looks like the rest is pretty good. I think we're just going to take a few more for good measure. Okay. That should do it. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go upstairs. And you guys know how this works now. We'll take our skin scales, put them in there. Wait for that to be finished. Take our cell in the DNA extractor. And wait, and this will give us our DNA encrypted. Any minute now. There we go. Over to the next machine, we'll take this one and we'll decrypt it. And hopefully we should get eat grass on this one. Now this one just has woolly and basic. So this one, don't remember if that's the same encryption code. So we'll see in a second here. This one does contain eat grass, so success. Now we can move on to the next one, which is actually the splitter. Now as you can see on this, it has woolly and eat grass. So what the splitter does is, naturally, it allows you to split between which gene you want. So in this case, we're going to want the eat grass gene. So we'll choose the eat grass gene, and it's going to split our DNA to give us our eat grass gene. And also it's going to give us another one of those organic drops. But we can just leave those in there because we don't really need those at the moment. Okay, so we'll get our gene. And as you can see in parentheses, we have eat grass on there. So this is the next machine that we're going to need to do, and it's called the DNA breeder. So what happens is we have the gene that we wish to get the ability from, which is eat grass. So to get that gene completed, we're going to actually need to run through this process of creating genes multiple times. That's why I grabbed so many scales. I don't think I need this many, but I just took some for the purposes of demonstration. Some genes that you want to create require a lot of other subgenes to create a completed gene. Some require less. So if we put this into the right side, which is the one that we want completed, as you can see, it has the breeding state 0 out of 8. And that represents the number of genes we need to combine with this unfinished gene to get a completed gene. So that's why I said to keep the helix from before. If we go into the splitter and use it on the basic gene, you can actually use basic genes into an eat grass gene, or if you wanted to do a woolly gene, you could put a basic gene into a woolly gene, and it will give you 1 out of 8. If you use the correct gene that you're trying to make, so if I put an eat grass gene in with the eat grass, it'll actually give me 2. So we'll have our basic gene in here, and we'll put that into our breeder, and that'll cook up there really quickly. I guess it's not cooking. I don't know what this actually does, but it's doing something. So now we have 1 out of 8. So basically what you'll need to do is go through again, back down the line through skin scales, helix, decrypted helix, split it into the gene you want, and then you can put it in the breeder. And once you have 8, you'll have a completed eat grass gene. So what I'm going to do right now off camera is make the rest of these scales. And just a note, once you come to the DNA splitter, if you were choosing between, let's say, a basic gene and an eat grass gene, you're obviously always going to want to choose the eat grass gene, because then when you combine it, it's going to give you 2. So just keep that in mind when you're making these. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back when we have a completed gene, and we're almost done from there. I'll just show you the 2 other machines that we need. So yeah, 1 second. Another thing I forgot to mention was with the DNA splitter, there also was the auto splitter that I talked about before. What that will do is, if you're using the automated method where you're automatically outputting to the next machine, once it gets to the splitter is where you have that decision. So what the auto splitter does is it always chooses the basic gene within the gene, or the helix that it's splitting from. And I think, I'm not sure if there's a way to change which one you want, because I haven't really had that. I've usually just done it automatically up to the splitter, and then I just choose which one I want from the splitter. But there's probably a way to have it automatically always go one route, but I'm not sure. But that's basically what the auto splitter does, is it automatically makes it into a basic gene. So yeah, I'm almost finished here. I've got, well, actually, a few more to go. So I'm going to finish that up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got our last basic gene going in here, and as you can see, when this finishes up, we'll have a note that the gene is completed, and you'll see in brackets there, we have a completed eat grass gene. Nice. So now what we can do is take that out, and we'll actually get to the last bit, which, bear with me, it's not that confusing. Okay. As you can see, before I had made another syringe, and this is where we're going to put that to use right now. What you're going to do is actually take some of your blood. I know you guys are saying, why are you so obsessed with blood? I don't know, but that's what you have to do. To get your blood, you're simply going to right-click, and you'll see it kind of does the bow animation, and then you let go, and you'll get a little hurt for a second, and you'll get blindness for a second, and now we actually have a syringe with our blood in it. Yeah. Very cool, very gross. We'll take that and centrifuge that. So what you're always going to have to go through this process. You're going to take some of your blood, centrifuge it, and you'll get centrifuged blood. Then what you do is you take that centrifuge syringe, put that in the combiner, and this is the last part. So what you're going to do is put your gene that you're placing in the left side. Take your syringe, that centrifuge, put that in the right side, and it's going to go. And what's happening is this gene is being placed into this syringe with our blood. So what we do is take that out, and we'll have it filled. And one last thing you need to do is centrifuge this again. So pretty much anytime you have blood in a syringe, centrifuge it, after you combine a gene or take one away, centrifuge it, and then you're ready to go. So we'll put this back in the centrifuge. And as you can see down there, it says that this syringe contains the eat grass gene. So we have now our completed syringe. Now all that's left to do is inject this into ourselves. So let's do that really quick. Some of you out there probably don't like needles, so you may want to look away. But what we're going to do is same thing as before, right click, and now we're going to get nausea 3, my least favorite side effect, for about 5 seconds. And that is that. Now we actually have the ability to eat grass. So let's come out here. Actually, I'm going to sleep for a second. Just for a second, because I don't want to die. I'm going to kill this thing. This little demon. And you. Come here. Nope. Oh, okay. Well, that's fixable. But anyway, so now as you can see, all that fighting made us really hungry. So what are we going to do? Let's just pretend we didn't have those fish fillets and we're starving out here in the plains. All we got to do, right click, and yeah, you can eat grass now. So pretty much anytime there's grass, you have food, which is awesome. Now, this is not the only thing that that this mod can do for you. That's just one of many. So as I said before, there's the woolly gene, which allows you to shear anything and get wool from it. There's the eat grass gene. There is the fly gene, which comes from a bat, which in my opinion, it kind of makes the game not as fun, because once you can fly, it's the exact same type of flying too as creative. So it's basically just creative mode, which, where's the fun in that? So I kind of tend to stay away from the fly gene just because it's a little too overpowered. There's the explode yourself gene, which is from the creeper, which is really fun if you're trying to like grief your friends or something. It's really fun to just go up there and just explode. It actually does kill you though, and then you lose all of your experience and all of your items. So I wouldn't really recommend doing that if you have like something you don't want to lose. There's also, from the cows, we have the ability, similar to woolly, it doesn't actually affect your character, it affects everything. But basically, if you have a bucket and you right-click any mob, you'll be able to get milk from it. So that's a cool one. If you get DNA from pigs, I'm not sure what those do. Pigs aren't really that special. They kind of are useless. So if you get it from, did I say an ocelot? Yeah, if you get it from an ocelot, you run faster. What else is there? The Enderman actually gives you the ability to teleport, which is always cool. It's basically free Ender Pearls to teleport. A Ghast, you can shoot fireballs. You can actually get skin scales from the Ender Dragon, and you can regenerate health, which is really cool. If you have those beacon things, I don't remember exactly what they're called. Energy crystals, maybe? Yeah, that's a cool thing. What else is there? I think mushrooms, if you can find mushrooms and get the scales from them, you can actually make mushroom stew. If you use the bowl on any mob, again, it'll give you mushroom stew, or mushroom stew. Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones. You can check them out. If you just Google advanced genetics, you can see any power-up or any upgrade that you can get from an animal to apply to yourself. So now if we actually look right now and we get some more of our blood, we can see that it actually has the gene inside of it. So that's a way to check what you have and what you don't have. Now, back to those organic drops. The use for those, I actually don't have much experience with those because they're involved in the process of removing a gene. So let's say you had a gene that you didn't really want anymore. You can use the DNA remover, which is right there. The DNA remover, which is just, instead of a plus sign, it's a minus sign. And that just does exactly what it sounds. It removes genes from the player. Now, I really haven't felt the need to remove any of the genes, so I don't usually even make that machine. But you use those organic drops, basically, to remove the genes. And then there's also a DNA transmuter, which I think that's where the organic drops actually come in to make that transmuter, and that makes an antigen, which then you can inject into yourself, so it gets rid of the gene that was in there. So yeah, that is basically the mod, and I think that's going to cover it for this spotlight. I think we're about out of time, so I know the last episode ran kind of long, but I'm going to try to keep them around half an hour or so. Maybe less, just because I know a long one can be kind of boring at times. But I think that's going to do it for this Let's Play episode. Again, this is Aeroplane 560 signing off, and I'm taking off now. See you guys later.